the longest-lived people on the planet, people who routinely reach 100, 105, even 110 years old, aren't doing what you'd expect. No gym, no supplements, no prescription bottles. They're tending a garden. The people of Okinawa, Japan, the most studied longevity population in human history, produce more centenarians per capita than anywhere else on Earth. Scientists flew to those islands expecting a genetic miracle. They came back with something simpler and far more powerful, a medicinal garden, 20 specific plants grown at home, eaten daily, now being validated one by one in peer-reviewed clinical studies. These aren't folk remedies. These are compounds that pharmacologists are actively studying for cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and cognitive decline. Today, I'm walking you through all 20 because number 10 has been shown in clinical trials to lower blood pressure as effectively as pharmaceutical drugs. And number 20 is what Okinawan centenarians call the soul of the garden, the plant their grandmothers said contained the secret to life itself. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you will never look at a garden the same way again. Before the list, 2 things to hold in your mind. Plant set grows like a weed on limestone walls across Okinawa. Most people walk past it, but peer-reviewed research has confirmed its extracts significantly lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure and improve HDL cholesterol with 0 pharmaceutical side effects. It's been used for exactly this purpose for over 500 years. Plant 20 is what Okinawan grandmothers called the bitter medicine of long life. Intensely bitter, modern science has now found phytochemicals inside it that regulate bone metabolism and may protect aging bodies from osteoporosis. They were eating a bone medicine. They just called it food. Hold those 2? Now, let's start the list. Here are 20 medicinal plants from Okinawa's longevity gardens, remarkable to extraordinary. 1. Goya. Bitter melon, Momordica carrantia. In Okinawa, Goya isn't a supplement. It's the king of summer vegetables. Eaten daily in Goya champuru, a simple stir-fry that has sustained some of the healthiest people who ever lived. Modern research confirms Goya contains a protein structurally similar to bovine insulin, actively lowering blood sugar and potentially preventing type 2 diabetes. Its vitamin C content doubles that of lemons and survives just cooking. The West swapped this for processed food. Goya kept doing its job. How to use: slice thin, salt briefly, stir-fry with tofu, egg, and pork. That's it. 2. Ucchin. Turmeric, curcuma longa. Okinawans don't take turmeric in capsules. They drink it as Ucchin cha, a morning tea, every single day. Their botanical pharmacology distinguishes multiple turmeric varieties, each with distinct medicinal profiles. One cultivar, the Okinawa King Gold, has been specifically bred for high tetrahydrocurcumin, a compound with superior antioxidant power and better absorption than standard curcumin. How to use: half a teaspoon of turmeric in hot water with a pinch of black pepper. The pepper's piperine dramatically increases absorption. Drink it every morning. 3. Fuchiba, Okinawan mugwort, Artemisia princeps. Fuchiba, the leaf for the spirit, is added to rice, goat soup, stir-fries, It's a daily foundational medicine. Research has confirmed it increases interferon production, helping the immune system resist viral infection and inhibit cancer cell proliferation. This was folk knowledge for generations. It's molecular immunology today. How to use? Add to rice dishes, soups, or steep as a mild herbal tea. 4. Sannin. Getu. Shell ginger, Alpinia zarumbat. Shell ginger leaves contain 34 times more polyphenols than red wine. The leaves are used to wrap and preserve food, naturally antibacterial in Okinawa's subtropical heat. Brewed as tea, research shows it improves cardiovascular health, enhances skin elasticity, and delivers broad-spectrum antioxidant protection. How to use? Steep 3-4 dried leaves in hot water for 10 minutes. Drink as an evening calming tea. Handama. Okinawan spinach. Ginura bicolor. Green on top, deep purple underneath. The purple is anthocyanins. Same compound as blueberries in extraordinary concentration. Clinical studies show regular Handama consumption significantly improves glycemic control in pre-diabetic individuals. The Okinawans call it the leaf of blood and longevity. That's not metaphor, it's accurate description. How to use? Lightly blanch and dress with sesame oil and rice vinegar. 6. Sakuna, long life grass. Posedonum japonicum. Folk tradition says eating one sprig adds a day to your life. Research confirms its chlorogenic acid inhibits MP1, the enzyme that degrades collagen and drives London aging. Eating Sakuna measurably slows the rate at which your skin ages. How to use? Dip in tempura batter and fry lightly, or add to fish soups in the final minutes. 7. Shikuwasa. Okinawan lime. Citrus depressa. This small, green, intensely sour citrus comes from the region of Okinawa with the highest centenarian concentration on an already extraordinary island. Its primary compound, nobilitin, activates AMPK, the body's master metabolic switch, promoting fat oxidation, cellular repair, and neuroprotection. One compound, one fruit, one garden. How to use? Squeeze over fish and grilled meats. Grate the peel. That's where the nobilitin concentrates. If you're seeing the pattern, this is not folk medicine, not cultural nostalgia. This is a centuries refined botanical system that modern science is validating compound by compound. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe, ring the bell, because the next 13 plants include the one growing on a limestone wall that works like a blood pressure drug. Keep watching. 8. Ucchin, cat's whiskers, Orthosophon aristatus. Drunk as Java tea before kidney problems develop, never after. Clinical research confirms it modulates aquaporin channels in the kidneys, managing water retention and hypertension, rich in rosmarinic acid and potassium. This is preventive renal medicine at the molecular level. Steep fresh or dried leaves for 5-7 minutes, 1 to 2 cups daily. 9. Pipachi, long pepper, Piper retrofractum. A warming spice and natural synergist. Its piperine significantly enhances the bioavailability of every other compound eaten alongside it, which may be exactly why Okinawan cuisine combines it with other high-value plants. Use as a warming spice in soups, stews, and teas. 10. Shima ninjin, island carrot, Ducus carotivar sativus. Yellow. Thin, ancient. Okinawan cooking always uses oil with this carrot because the fat-soluble carotenoids require fat to be absorbed. That's not coincidence. That's pharmacological intention built into culinary tradition. Always saute in oil before adding to soups. 11. Ryukyu yamen, island yam, Discaria spp. When grated, it turns viscous and mucilaginous. That texture is the medicine signaling itself. Research confirms its polysaccharides act as prebiotics, feeding beneficial gut bacteria and supporting the gut immune axis. Grate raw over rice or hot noodle broth. Chino, hot, pov, shima kabocha, island pumpkin, cucurbita muscata. Beta-carotene dense, heat-resistant, and fermented extracts show anti-obesity effects by inhibiting fat storage gene expression. This isn't comfort food. It's targeted therapeutic nutrition. Simmer with dashi broth, mirin, and soy sauce until tender. 13. Shimarakyo, Okinawan shallot, Allium chinense. Served at the start of every Okinawan meal as a priming mechanism. It's allicin beshi, garlic's famous compound present at high concentration, lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and helps the body absorb vitamin B1. Okinawans eat their alliums every day. Their cardiovascular statistics show it. Salt pickle for 3 to 5 days and serve as a daily condiment. Frit, nabra, lufa, Lufa cylindrica. The rest of the world uses it as a bath sponge. Okinawa eats it, harvested young, before the fibrous interior develops. It's rich in pectin, soluble fiber that feeds gut bacteria, slows glucose absorption, and reduces LDL cholesterol. Cook in miso soup or stir-fry. Harvest when still soft to the touch. 15. Moringa, tree of life, Moringa oleifera. Vitamin C, vitamin A. Calcium, complete protein, potassium, rare in any single plant. Research confirms anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and blood glucose regulating effects across multiple disease categories. Add a teaspoon of dried powder to morning tea or soup broth. 16. Guava leaf, Psidium guajava. It's not the fruit, it's the leaves. Guava leaf tea inhibits alpha-glucosidase, the enzyme that spikes blood sugar after meals, a mechanism identical to a drug class used clinically for type 2 diabetes. The guava tree has been doing this for free in Okinawan gardens for centuries. Steep 5 to 6 dried leaves after every meal. 18. Uitabi, creeping fig, Ficus pumila. Here it is, the one I told you to remember. Uitabi is a vine that climbs limestone walls across Okinawa. Most people see overgrowth. Okinawans see a blood pressure medicine they've been using for 500 years. Clinical studies now confirm it. Uitabi extracts significantly lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. They increase HDL cholesterol while decreasing LDL and triglycerides. Its flavonoids, including rutin, physically strengthen blood vessel walls. This is not folklore. This is cardiovascular pharmacology that grew on a wall. Harvest young stems and leaves. Steep 10 minutes. Drink daily. 18. Ta'an mu, taro, Colocasia esculenta. Daily tro is a cornerstone of Okinawan gut health, and in a population with extremely low rates of colorectal disease, that correlation is not accidental. Its high fiber feeds gut bacteria, supports the gut immune axis, and regulates systemic inflammation. Boil or steam and serve with miso or soy sauce. Dante. Shibui, winter melon Benincasa hispida, nearly flavorless on its own, and that's the point. Shibui absorbs the nutrients and flavors of whatever it cooks with. In long simmered pork or fish soups, it becomes a delivery vehicle for collagen, fat-soluble vitamins, and the medicinal broth around it. Its seeds act as a diuretic, supporting kidney function. Simmer for 30 to 40 minutes until the flesh turns translucent. We're at the last plant, the one I mentioned at the very beginning, the bitter medicine of long life, the bone metabolism regulator they've been eating wild on the coast for centuries. If this video has given you anything, hit that like button, share it, subscribe. Next week we go deeper. Now, number 20, Nigna bitter leaf, Crepidistarum lanceolatum. Nigna grows wild along the Okinawan coast. It is intensely, almost aggressively bitter. A bitterness that makes Goya taste mild. Hand someone in the Western world a leaf and they'd put it down. The Okinawans have been eating it for centuries. Not because it tastes good, because it works. Modern research has identified phytochemicals in Nigna that regulate bone metabolism, specifically the balance between osteoblast and osteoclast activity that determines whether bones strengthen or deteriorate with age. This is the exact mechanism that fails in osteoporosis, one of the most debilitating conditions in aging populations globally. The Okinawans were eating a bone metabolism regulator as a wild coastal herb. They just called it food. Shred finely and serve with silken tofu, sesame oil, and crushed peanuts. The combination mellows the bitterness and creates something genuinely pleasurable once you understand what you're eating. If you made it here, you've witnessed something extraordinary. Not a list of superfoods, not a wellness trend, a system. For centuries, the people of Okinawa have lived by Ishoku Dogen, the understanding that food and medicine are not separate things, that the garden is the pharmacy, that what you grow, what you eat, and how you prepare it is your health care plan. These 20 plants are not folklore. They are compounds with documented mechanisms, clinical evidence, and centuries of consistent use in the healthiest, longest-lived population ever studied. Modern science is finally catching up, plant by plant, compound by compound, and what it keeps finding is that the garden was right all along. Picture this. You've discovered Okinawa's 20 medicinal plants, and the power of food as medicine. Now, imagine using that exact plant-powered approach to burn stubborn fat, rebuild strength, and add vibrant, healthy years, all from your own home garden. That's the promise of my new book, The Plant-Powered Weight Loss Blueprint: How to Burn Stubborn Fat, Rebuild Strength, and Add Extra Healthy Years, starting right at home. As Homestead Kampo, I've created the complete at-home system that turns Ishoku Dogen into real, measurable results. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen to grab your copy right now. Then smash that like button if this video changed how you think about health. Drop a comment. Which plant surprised you most? Team Goya? Team Shikuwasa? Team Nigana? The coastal herb protecting your bones right now? I read every comment. Subscribe and ring the bell. We're connecting ancient botanical wisdom with modern clinical science every week. Remember, the most powerful medicine on earth is not in a pharmacy. It never was. It's in a garden. It always has been. And now you know exactly which plants belong in yours.